You barely ate your food. You know you don't like fried rice. Why didn't you order for jollof rice? Or is it because I'm taking it?
No, not really. There was a reason why I brought you here. There's something I want to tell you.
Seriously? I think it's one of our rituals. Anyway, I'm not ears.
I think I will be staring.
Sterile? Do you mean you cannot father a child?
Actually, the doctor told me that I have 50-50 chance of me impregnating a lady. You're still hoping.
It is well. There's no sickness God cannot. We pray. Don't think of it. How did it happen? Why did you start running tests on yourself? Have you started suspecting yourself?
No, not at all. I love you so much. I love you and I trust you. Remember the bike accident I had? Yeah, and it caused a lot of damage on me. Almost took my life. And there was a surgery done on it. And that caused the problem at hand now.
Please, don't write this down. I don't hear it. Is it a part of you? Let it know.
No, don't worry. It may be unfair if I didn't tell you. So that's why I brought you here now to tell you the situation of things. Let's sit up.
I just lost my appetite.
Are you angry with me? Are you sure? Very sure.
I'll meet you.
Hope you are not breaking up with me. See you.
God, how will I continue with all this?
Honey, are you back again with this your test result check?
Am I not a concern myself? Huh? 5 medical labs, all saying the same thing. 7 different medical results showing positive. See, I've been through this long time ago with the doctor.
Is that why you have been dad? Fighting up, my dear. I should be the one doing this, not you.
Deep in I knew. I wouldn't have done that surgery at all.
I told you, stop blaming yourself. I told you I love you, and for the fact that you've not been able to impregnate me, I still love you. And thank God you went for the surgery. I won't go for the surgery, I won't allow us.
Thank God for having a wife like you. You've been so much understanding.
And let's go to bed, it's late already. It's going to be impossible for you to happen. It's going to be impossible.
Oi! What is it? What is it? What is it? Tell me, what's happening? Not nightmare again. These nightmares are becoming so frequent these days. I think we should probably declare fasting and prayer and possibly see the pastor. And you barely sleep these days.
Don't worry, it's just a nightmare. I'll get to bed. Let's go to bed.
Are you sure?
For you to have.
A minute.
Figuring it out. Sure.
Let's go down.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Long time.
My dear,
I've been in this country. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Amaka,
My dear.
How far now?
Why just be shy?
No, fine, no, it's good. You're welcome.
Thank you
Let
very
me
much.
get you something to drink.
Okay.
Amaka baby.
Glow, glow.
You're welcome. Amaka baby.
Glow for G.
I'm really happy to see you.
Likewise me.
You are looking good.
And you too.
Hey, I'm really, really happy. Yeah. You can help yourself.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Amaka baby.
Glow, glow. Man,
You're looking good.
this your husband is just pimping you all around.
No good though.
Really?
Not good.
You know, if it was a bit some other men, they would have, thrown you out since you couldn't give him a child.
How, my sister? That party is very sensitive. He doesn't know about it too.
Wow. You mean 3 years into the marriage and he's not even aware that he cannot give birth to a child?
My sister, he has his own issue and that's what I'm using to cover up.
Anyway, that's unfair of you. But I trust my baby. You're still a sharp girl I used to know
Trust
now.
me now. Glow for general.
You know.
I beg you.
But anyway, that is unfair of you.
It is way.
Because I believe you must have told him while you guys were still cutting.
It's true.
But now that you are married, in my own candid opinion, keep it to yourself, to secure the marriage now.
I will.
Uh-huh.
But there's a little challenge.
What is it?
Lately, I've been having this terrible nightmare and I don't sleep anymore. And it seems as if I want to lose my marriage and I don't want to lose David.
So what do you want to do? You want to tell him about the past?
No, I'm not confused. I don't know what to do.
Anyway, I know it was quite wrong of you not to have told him while you guys were still dating. But my dear, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. That's the best thing you can do for the now. And I believe that Dave will not know. Keep pumping him with love, show him much love to the extent that even if he gets to know later, he will end up forgiving you. What do you think?
Would that work?
Of course, it will.
Okay.
But I think nobody knows about your condition.
I don't know what to know about it. More the same. Thank you for saving me from that
Please
shame.
don't mention. What are friends for?
Thank you very much.
Good day, viewers, and you're welcome to today's episode of The Sessions. Today we're talking about a story titled Secrets, and it's the story of a young couple who are having challenges in their marriage based on secrets that is being hidden from one partner to the other. Today, to discuss this issue with me, I have two persons. To my near right here, I have Dr. Adu. He's a consultant public health physician with the Ministry of Health in Delta State. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good day, viewers.
Okay, and next to him, I have Pastor Mrs. Grace Affair. She's from Faith Baptist Church in DSC Warri, also in Nigeria here, and she's joining us on today's episode. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Good day, viewers.
Okay, the story we're seeing is about a young couple who are having some kind of secrets they are keeping from themselves, okay, perhaps one-sided in this case. And what I would like to ask first is that what is the position of trust and truthfulness in dating? From what we've seen is an issue that stemmed from the time they were dating into marriage. So let's start from the beginning. To what extent should there be trust, and to what extent should there be truthfulness when somebody is dating? Is it everything we talk about, or there are some sacred things?
Trust is basic and fundamental to a relationship between persons. Once you can't trust somebody, you can't even do business with the person. You can't do a transaction. I don't think you're trust. So trust is fundamental. And when you're talking about dating that will lead on to marriage, trust and truthfulness becomes fundamental, because that's the basis for me to say, I know you. And in knowing you, I can predict, I can determine what you will do tomorrow. So it's so fundamental to any relationship.
First, I don't know, maybe we should try and define trust, because sometimes some people feel that you don't trust them, even when you know you trust them. They feel that, no, you don't trust me. They expect you to do some things like maybe something that is unethical or something that is just not right. For example, you want to do a business with somebody, maybe the person is a friend, and you say, let's write an agreement. And the person says, no, that means you don't trust me, that I will not bring your money back. So what can we actually define as trust? Is it just blind trust? You just trust the person, that's how it is? Does trust mean that you shouldn't put checks and balances in place?
Okay, trust really has relations. I can trust, I'm a doctor, you're a pastor, I can trust you can preach. I can trust you to take care of money. I can trust you to, I can trust God for something else, because God is not man. So trust has dimensions and variations based on issues and perspectives and what is on the table. And there are limits. Maybe I can trust you the 100,000. I don't think you can handle 10 million. I don't think you run away with my 100,000 naira. But 10 million won't be, I'm not too sure.
Okay, trust has limits.
Yes.
Okay, Pastor Mrs. Grace, how do you see the issue of trust?
Yeah, Jesus was talking to the people and he said, he knew all men, yet did not commit himself to them. You know, like he said, there is a limit. I trust you as a man, but I will not commit myself unto you, because you can bounce back, you can fail me, because you are mere man made from dust. You know, there are some things that could just arise and
maybe beyond my capability.
Yes, and you fall victim, you fall prey. I could be disappointed. So, I mean, that is why we can trust men, but we should not commit ourselves.
Okay, I think that's generally talking about trust. But when it now comes to relationship, how does this limits apply in dating? How does this limit? What are the limits to maybe trust or openness when it comes to dating, or the limits don't apply here?
Okay, coming to dating, trust and fruitfulness, I see it as the rail on which the relationship moves.
Okay.
So if it must get to destination, trust, truthfulness
and openness,
must be available. And then you find that when we talk about the extent or limit, two people that are thinking of sharing their lives together for the rest of their lifetime on earth, I don't think there should be anything that should be hidden. What you've done before in the past, but no matter how messy, when you see you are getting to the very edge of I do, you must open up.
Okay.
And yes.
So that means when it comes to trust in terms of relationship, there is no limit.
No limits.
Okay. Now, before two people agree to come together, they both have pasts. Okay, and they need to talk about their past. That's what we're talking about. To what extent should they talk about their past? What about the past that is so messy, to borrow your word, such that this person feels that this one may not be able to take it at this time? How do you handle that? Do you still just dig it all up? Can it not come back and become a negative consequence?
Though we know in principle we should trust, but on the other part of the partner, I am the one revealing. My partner needs to show, can he accept me? There's always that fear of the person that wants to reveal. So sometimes, like I talk about money, 100,000, 10 million, you want to say, let me tell you about A. If the person gets ruffled by A, how do I tell you Z? It becomes the fear of the person. But you must take the person along the path, because at whatever time the person will discover the Z, the person will still react. So the earlier the person reacts and we can get over the Z, then we can move on together.
Okay, so it becomes like a two-way thing. So if I understand what it means that for you to be able to encourage somebody to divulge certain things, it depends on how you also position yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So to be able to encourage
yes.
communication.
Yes.
Okay. Now, from the issue that we've seen now, when, as it seems, the lady did not dig up as much or portray as much of her past to the young man before the marriage, and now they've consummated the marriage. Can we still see that this marriage is actually a marriage in truth, as in quote? Is it a marriage or is it falsehood?
Okay.
I cannot say it's not marriage, because in the first place, the rights that should be done as it applies to the traditional bride price pay, and maybe wedding also is done, fundamentals. So she went in because, she kept these secrets back because of fear. She was tormented with fear. So not necessarily because she was not in love or didn't appreciate the man. So that was an area, and because she also had bad cancer, a very wrong cancer, that was what led her that if she had the right cancer, she would have divulged it.
Okay, so hiding information deliberately or indeliberately does not nullify the marriage.
God has joined them together.
Okay.
No man should put us under.
Okay. We'll be taking a short break now, and when we come back, we'll be delving into this issue squarely. Stay with us. Yeah, you're welcome back to the second part of today's episode of Decisions. We are still talking about secrets. Just before we left on break, we were talking about the extent of trust, openness, and truthfulness in the relationship. I want to change the direction of the question a little bit. We saw the husband in this case going through a series of medical reports that he has had. He's been checking himself for the past 3 years. We know that he is not aware of his wife's condition, but just looking at him in isolation, is he getting too worried, doing so much tests and then archiving so much results? Is he getting too worried, or there are other things he could have done? And if there are other things he could have done, what are the things he could have done, Dr. Ali?
Okay, naturally, any man will be worried 3 years down the line, and you had a previous accident that could have affected your ability to have children. Any man will be more wondering, is it really my problem that's causing this? So it's natural for a man to think about it once in a while, even if you try to push it to the back of your mind. But 3 years down the line, we're expecting to follow medical counsel, and if they say there's a problem, if from the result he saw that it's not positive, which means there is no problem, he should start asking, could it be that it's my wife? Or the doctors, usually any doctor will ask you, let's conduct an investigation about your wife, but you don't have a problem. Okay. You are thinking you have, but the results say you.
But there's a possibility that because he has done results, I believe he must have done results from different medical facilities. Maybe he does from A, they gave him the results, say you are okay. He does from B, and he still begins to think that is there anything wrong with the result and all that, because the result all says you are okay. You know, there have been stories of people like that. They go for medical checks, they are okay, but they still don't have children, and it takes some time, and in the end, nobody can explain how it is. Perhaps he has so much trust for his wife, and he doesn't want to ask his wife. Is that okay?
Just at that point, he's getting worse. It's no longer being rational. Because the rational thing to do is the doctor has said, if for example you meet a doctor in us and we get the second opinion and both of them say, okay, you don't have to do 4-5 tests. 2-3 opinions maximum should give you a clear opinion, and you should ask the doctor, what else should I do? Except probably he's moving from one lab to the other without following the process in a particular setting.
Okay. Pastor Mrs. Grace, I want to ask you a question. A man had problem, he knew he had problem before. Now he's done a few medical tests, and medical test says, you are okay, you don't have any issue. And he just walked up to his wife, and now says, it's like you have to go and check yourself too. How will the woman feel? Okay, we know this one in this case knew there's a problem. But for a woman who did not even know anything, how will the woman feel?
Well, she'll be embarrassed.
Because I believe it's possible that the man is looking at it from that angle. I don't want to go and embarrass my wife, since we know before saying it's me that has one issue or another. So how will the natural woman
feel? The natural woman will feel embarrassed, and then might now begin to wonder, it's like the foundation of trust is being broken down. And it's like there's a crack, something might be fishing. And then the African lady also, the mind will begin to take towards spiritual attacks.
Spiritual attacks on the husband or on the home.
Oh, John.
but though having children is an emotional issue, okay. So we expect some level of denial even when there's a problem. But we have to cross that part and move forward. So we expect her to react, we expect the other party to react, but we have to face it. Okay. And find, we need to have a key, both of us. We need to go and just find the solution.
Okay. So now another question is this: we talked about somebody encouraging the other person to bring forth information. In a situation where one party has chosen to hide a particular information, maybe due to the stigma attached to it or whatever, that no, I don't think my husband is man enough to accept this information, or I don't think my wife is woman enough to accept this information. How can the other party be able to encourage that, even without knowing that an information has been hidden? How can the other party encourage his or her partner to be communicative and to be able to say things? How do you put yourself in such a position? Any practical guidelines or advice?
Now, as the relationship grows, people dating start from somewhere.
Yes.
And as it grows, year in, year out, the longer, or as the year grows on, it's expected that they should be getting more intimate in their relationship. When I talk of intimacy, I'm not talking extramarital sex, but intimacy, getting to know each other, sharing the past life, and then it is in the process of sharing. If I share an area of my past experience, date life that I've had, I will expect that you share yours too. If you are not talking, I will ask, don't you have anything in that direction you want to share with me?
What if the person says, no, it's bad experience, I don't want to remember, let's not talk about it?
Oh my dear, I'm interested in the bad experience. I'm interested in the bad experience.
The person says, no, it makes me feel emotionally unstable, I don't want to talk about it, please, let's just not go there. There are some people like that, so how do you do?
Good. Now, if you tell me that, I will take you for your word. But if it has to do with something that will affect this relationship tomorrow, then you are being unfair.
Okay.
Yes, you are being unfair. If I tell you as a woman that I've had 3 abortions before, and the next thing you ask me is your womb still in, I say my womb is still intact. Then if you've had a child, you are hiding your village, you should be able to tell me, because that definitely will affect our home tomorrow.
Okay. Now as we're getting to the close, I want to ask another question. What is wrong with the advice of the woman's friend? Because she told the lady in question that, okay, you ought to have told your husband while you were dating, but now you have missed that timeline. Because you have missed that timeline, you can no longer tell him. Instead, show him so much love such that the day he finally gets to know, he will just forgive you. Is that advice okay? There's anything wrong with it?
The issue is he will get to know someday.
He will get to know someday.
Except God does a miracle and she has a child. Even beyond that, something
even
beyond that,
okay.
Something could make him discover that something was kept secret for so long. Okay. And as at then, so the longer it is kept, the more there's an issue of breach of trust. So I understand that challenges, can I say it now, it's in 3 years, but it is never too late to do the right thing.
Okay.
At 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, there was always a time where you have to come right. So if it's 3 years down the line, that advice doesn't work. For 4 years or 6 years, she will need to open up when he finds out. And as at then, what do you now say? So it's never too late to start right. It is never too late. Whenever you discover you are wrong,
regardless of the love, she just have to find a way to tell you.
Because that will breach the love, even if you find out, no matter how much love you've shown, after 10 years, he discovers that you've not been open to him for 10 years. Like, wow, you say you love me, trust me, there will be question.
Okay, let me ask one question. If eventually the lady has been praying actually, because this was her past, but now she's been praying, she's been hoping that a miracle will happen, because all that we are all expecting is just miracle. Outside a miracle, there's nothing doable. So perhaps a miracle of some sort. Maybe she needs one solid pastor or something to pray for her, and she's able to now deliver a child, or let me say start delivering children. But does she still need to now open up to the husband and still tell him that, okay, I did tell you before, but this one happened? Can she still do that? Or should she?
She should.
If it were you, how would you feel at that point?
At any time there will be a reaction. But if you love the person, there's this scripture about a man ought to love the wife even as Christ loved the church. Actually, if we bring it into marriage, you see that there's nothing that God will not forgive you. So we need to learn, like someone said, forgive even in advance what you've not heard. There'll be the initial shock, but you have to learn to forgive. There'll be surprises in marriage.
Okay.
It's the ones you expect. So you have to learn to forgive.
Okay, now on a final note, we seem to agree that she needs to let the husband know. How should she go about it now?
I want to say that at that point, she would need her spiritual, instructor, like a man of God. Definitely, she's a Christian. She has a pastor. She should meet that minister, and then open up to that minister.
What kind of minister? Because some ministers, I'm sorry to say, sometimes they don't even guide properly.
She should take time to pray. If she's going to a particular place of worship, how do you go to a place of worship whose ministration don't touch your life to turn you around?
Yeah, but she's a woman, she has to go with your husband to where your husband goes.
Yes, but if your needs, spiritual needs are not being met, relocate to a place where your life can locate destiny.
Okay, where you have something to look forward to.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
So if you have a minister that is touching your life and preparing you for heaven, you open up to him and tell him, this is the situation, I don't know how to approach it. That's one.
Okay.
Two, you could meet a friend of his that is so intimate with him, who is a normal human being, normal in quote, who is not going to,
take advantage of the situation.
Yes, and destroy the whole thing. Who is matured. We're talking of definitely with the relationship, you must have been able to identify some level of maturity in that individual. So tell that kind of person, not you telling your pastor who you can rely upon and at the same time going to tell this one. No, should you not have a reliable man of God in quote? But I expect you should.
Okay.
If you don't, then look for
alternative.
Yes, an alternative.
How about family? Extended family?
Any significant
okay, that you can rely upon. Who fears the Lord?
Okay.
Not just anyone. Go and take the counsel of the ungodly. No. If it's in the family, a member who fears the Lord, who you respect, good. You can put that individual and open up to him. So they would know how to handle.
Okay, final question, Dr. Adu. How do we tell men to prepare their hearts now for this kind of information, or this kind of... Okay, the man is not yet aware. So how will he be prepared in such a way, or how can men generally be prepared so that their wife just walks up to them and say, scratch scratches her head and say there was a XYZ.
It's going to be a shock anyway. This is a particular, but different people meet different shocks. So shock will come, and you need to tell yourself life goes on. When there is a problem, it has a solution. So there's no problem that doesn't have a solution. It could come today, it could come next year. But when you make the shock, you settle down and ask yourself, what is the way forward? There's no problem without the solution. No matter how big, it's a time the solution will come that differ.
Okay. Is there anything else the woman can do? Even maybe she finally tells the husband through the pastor or somebody, and the husband says, okay, I've heard you, I forgive you. And natural human, something in that mind, as in looking at the woman twice or something.
Yeah.
What can the woman do to make sure the husband doesn't look at her twice? He just forgets everything.
It's not easy for the husband to forget everything because he's a normal human being.
So what can the woman do to help?
The wound to heal. So all she needs to do is to love the man, deeper than before. Give him every attention. Do everything on your knees. You keep praying, and at the same time minister to his stomach very well. Make sure that your bedroom fellowship is intact. Yes, and take care of him. Give him 100% attention, and don't play with bedroom fellowship.
Okay, viewers, we've been talking about secrets, and we've been talking with Grace Affair and Dr. Ufoma Adu. Thank you very much for coming and for discussing with us. And you heard it all. If you are anyone in a relationship, whether attending towards marriage or is already, please try and be open. And for those of you who are not sure of what is being hidden or not, try and encourage your partner to bring forth information by putting them in a comfortable position. To anyone out there who is in this particular situation, and especially for these people in quotes, David and Glory, we will ask Glory to please seek counsel from a man of God that can be able to guide you to be able to talk properly with you and your husband. Thank you for staying with us. Episode. We invite you to join us on the same program, the same time, same station next week. Thank you.